Hello, wonderful viewers. You're welcome to another episode on Nebo TV, and I'm your host for today, Constance Obaseki. On today's episode, I'll be giving updates on political issues in Edo State. Court dismisses PDP suit against Ize-Iyamu. As you all know, since the September 19, 2020 governorship election in Edo State, some of the candidates have been battling with court cases. Governor Godwin Obaseki, Ize-Iyamu, Emmanuel Iboy, and others have been going through a lot of court processes as regards the election. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) last week brought in evidence before the Federal High Court in Abuja the nomination form Governor Godwin Obaseki filled and submitted for the purpose of the governorship election that was held in Edo State on September 19, 2020. Justice Ahmed Mohammed admitted and marked the document known as Form EC9 along with other attachments that accompanied it as Exhibit PL2. He dismissed objections the People Democratic Party (PDP) raised to query the admissibility of the document which INEC was summoned to produce before the court in the forgery case the All Progressives Congress (APC) instituted against Obaseki. The APC had in the suit it jointly filed with one of its members in Edo, Mr. Williams Edobo, alleged that Obaseki forged the University of Ibadan degree certificate he submitted to INEC in aid of his qualification for the election. The plaintiffs equally alleged that there were discrepancies in the subjects that Obaseki claimed he passed in his West African Examination Council (WAEC) exam and subjects in his testimonial. Consequently, they are praying the court to declare that Obaseki's claim in his INEC form EC9 at column C sworn to on June 29, 2020 at the Federal Capital Territory High Court Registry to the effect that he obtained from the University of Ibadan in 1979 a Bachelor of Arts degree in Classical Studies is false and contrary to the Section 31(5) and 6 of the Electoral Act 2010. As well as an order declaring that Obaseki lied on oath when he swore to an affidavit on June 29, 2020, that he worked in Afriverse Limited from 1994 to 2014 when he retired. Meanwhile, the resumed hearing of the case on Tuesday following a subpoena that was issued against it on December 23rd, INEC produced a certified true copy (CTC) of Obaseki's nomination form through one of its legal officers, Mr. Samuel Omale. Obaseki's lawyer, Mr. Ken Mosiah San, and that of the PDP, Mr. Razak Isse Nalome, had insisted that Omale, who appeared as the second principal witness in the case PW2, lacked the capacity to tender the document in evidence. They argued that under the rules of the court, the INEC official was not supposed to be sworn on oath before the court, since he was merely subpoenaed to produce documents and not to tender them as a witness in the matter. Mosiah San argued that the PW2 did not file a written witness deposition as required by Order 20, Rule 3 of the Federal High Court Rules, arguing that documents were not duly certified as prescribed by the Evidence Act. In his words, he said, "My lord, ex facie from the document, there is no proof of payment as mandatorily required by Section 104(1) of the Evidence Act." Similarly, PDP's lawyer, Mr. Razak, argued that the exhibit sought to be tendered was a computer-generated document that was downloaded from INEC's website, contending that it did meet the requirement of Section 84 of the Evidence Act. He said since it was computer-generated, there ought to have been a certificate that was attached to it. On its part, INEC, which is the third defendant in the suit, through its lawyer, Mr. M.A. Bawa, said it was not opposed to the admissibility of the document. Responding, counsel to the plaintiffs, Chief Akin Olujimi-san, urged the court to dismiss the objectives. "I agree that when a witness is subpoenaed to produce a document pursuant to Section 219 of the Evidence Act, that such a person does not become a witness by the mere fact that he produced the document and cannot be time cross-examined, unless and until he is called as a witness. However, the mere fact that a witness was sworn on oath in error does not derogate from the fact that he was merely subpoenaed to produce a document and cannot be subjected to a cross-examination, Olujimi submitted. The plaintiff's counsel said in the interest of justice, it would not object to the court allowing the defendants to cross-examine the PW2, stressing that the document INEC was supposed to produce was already pleaded by all the parties in the matter. There is no element of surprise here because both the plaintiff, the first and second defendants, are also seeking to rely on this same document. This is an official document in the custody of the third defendant, INEC, to whom it was submitted to by the first defendant. INEC is the third defendant in this case. There is no way I can ask an adverse party to come and make a statement on oath. The only way to bring him before your lordship is by an order compelling him to appear before this court, he added. In his ruling, Justice Mohammed noted that though the PW2 was not supposed to be sworn on oath, he held that the document sought to be tendered was very relevant and should not be rejected on the ground that there was an error in the manner it was produced by the witness. Justice Mohammed held that since a substantial part of the suit centered on the Form EC9, it made the document very relevant. In fact, without the Form EC9, this case would collapse like a pack of cards, the judge held, adding that the defendants were at liberty to cross-examine the witness. While under cross-examination, the PW2 told the court that in line with COVID-19 protocols, the Form EC9 was published online for candidates to download, fill, and upload on INEC's website. Asked if the copy he tendered before the court was downloaded from the website, the witness said, "This is a copy from the file that we have in our custody. It is also part of what the second defendant filled and submitted online." Meanwhile, in a separate judgment, Justice Mohammed dismissed the suit PDP filed to disqualify APC's candidate, Pastor Obaseki Iyamu, from participating in the Edo State governorship election. Finally, the suit against APC was dismissed, and that confirmed the disqualification of Iyamu. Wow, what a wonderful one. The court held that the suit had turned to an academic exercise since the crux of the action was to stop Iyamu from participating in the election that had held since and won by the PDP and its candidate Obaseki. This particular court case issued against Obaseki has been on since his announcement and swearing in as the governor of Edo State. The governor and those he was dragged to court with have been vindicated by the judgment passed by the Justice Mohammed. So viewers, tell us your take on the judgment passed by Justice Mohammed. Let's know your view on this issue. All you have to do is to drop a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to click on the subscription button to us to subscribe and the notification bell for more updates. And then this is where we'll draw the curtain on today's show. I still remain your host, Constance Obaseki. Do well to stay safe. God bless you. God bless Edo State, and God bless Nigeria.